What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and show where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. A little late here, but today we're talking the August 5th, 2023 edition of the SmackDown LowDown. Yes, we were well after SummerSlam, a couple days removed here. They still talk about the stuff that happened on SmackDown that does not have to do with the pay-per-view. For this episode anyway, it was a lot to do about SummerSlam, the Slim Jim Battle Royal, and a lot else. But I did enjoy SmackDown on Friday when I watched it on Saturday morning. I thought, again, we've never missed a SmackDown LowDown Talking Smack review here on the channel since it started back up again in 2020. Why start now? So they open up the episode. Megan Morant and Matt Camp do. They're their new regular duo for these shows, that and Raw Talk. They open up the episode running down the biggest headlines from Friday's SmackDown, including recapping LA Knight's win over Sheamus. They preview the Slim Jim Battle Royal for Saturday's SummerSlam. And they also recap Theory's win over Cameron Grimes in non-title action. We hear from Santos Escobar, the number one contender to the United States Championship. He says that what happened to Theory to Theory on SmackDown was karma. And he says that he invented Theory's tactics before Theory could even do them. He was a heel long before Theory was in WWE, and just in general. And he will compete in the Battle Royal, which he did, and he did not win, so just a heads up. Back in the studio, they preview the United States Championship match for Friday's SmackDown between himself and Austin Theory coming up this Friday. They recap the Street Profits' return and attack on the OC and the Brawling Brutes. We hear from AJ Styles backstage, who says that he feels prepared for the Battle Royal that he's going to compete in. And he's also going to tear Cross's head off, and he's not only going to eliminate him, which I think he did, I don't remember who eliminated who, if it was AJ who eliminated Cross or vice versa, but he said that he's going to hurt Cross. Cameron Grimes walks up, coming off his loss to Theory on SmackDown, and says, "Listen, AJ, if you need help with carrying Cross, let me know, and I would be more than happy to help." And Styles says, "Well, if you would have minded your own business, then you probably would have beaten Theory tonight, and if you just worried about yourself and not gotten yourself involved with other people's business," and then just kind of left them. So that leads me to believe we might be getting a Cameron Grimes heel turn if he's going to take that to heart, maybe attack AJ, cost him his match against Cross, coming up on SmackDown this coming Friday. Wouldn't be opposed to it. SmackDown already has a lot of baby faces. They could afford to turn someone. I love Cameron as a baby face, but maybe a heel turn could help him out a little bit, if only for a little while. We'll see. They replay the Asuka hype video package that aired during SmackDown, and they also hype up the triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Matt Camp called it the most decorated women's match probably ever in the history of WWE because of the accomplishments of all three women. I mean, he might not be wrong from that standpoint, but I mean, the match won't be remembered a week from now, so let's not go that far. But he did tease a Money in the Bank cash, and there was a lot of talk here about a Money in the Bank cash, which we did end up getting. They didn't really hammer that home on SmackDown, but I thought it was interesting. They talked a lot about it here, and we did end up getting it. Typically, when they talked a lot about that sort of stuff, it doesn't end up happening, so I thought that was interesting. They replay the Grayson Waller effect with Bayley and Io Sky and Shotzi interrupting. They recap the Zelina Vega win over Io Sky, which makes me think now that Io Sky is the new WWE Women's Champion, maybe Vega will be first in line and they do the title match on SmackDown coming up soon. That would not be a bad idea. Kayla asks Io backstage about, Bayley walking off during their match, or during Io's match with Zelina Vega. And she just answers in Japanese and says that she has to go find Bayley and then tells Kayla to go away, and that was it. Matt Camp and Megan talk about Sky possibly cashing in, which again she did on Saturday. They recap the Jey Uso Solo Sikoa main event. They hype up the Tribal Combat match for Money in the Bank. Matt Camp says that Roman Reigns wants a stranglehold, not only on the championship, but also on his cousin Jey Uso. And Reigns knows that Jey knows him better now than he did a couple of years ago, after all they've been through in the bloodline. And then to close out the show, they run down the SummerSlam card, as they did on Raw Talk last Monday, and they make some quote-unquote bold predictions for the pay-per-view, which I think Camp says that he expects 2 championships to change hands, which they didn't. I guess technically the women's title changed hands twice, between Bianca winning it and then Io, so he's technically not wrong. And then Megan, I forgot what her prediction was. But that was the SmackDown LowDown for last Saturday. Again, I apologize for the delayed review from August 5th, 2023. I was in Detroit all weekend, obviously. Fine show, not really worth watching now that the pay-per-view's in the re-review, but a fine episode nonetheless. Thank you guys for checking out my review. I appreciate it. Check out my review of Raw Talk from last night coming up soon as well. Have a great one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.